Alright, so what we have here is an orange hat tomato that I had in the house. And somehow while I was on vacation, it contracted spider mites. So I just cut everything off of it basically. And we're going to start over. I'm pretty confident that the leaves will come back. I left some of the fruit on, not all of it. And we're just going to give it a go. I'm going to spray it with some neem oil and hope for the best. Wish me luck, right? Alright, over here is my Dino kale that I don't know why it's been doing so good, but I harvested some for lunch today, and I got some bok choy plants. These were the plants that were indoors that were dying because I wasn't using them fast enough, and so I put them outside and they have taken really well. So kudos to those plants. Over here is my planter that has the wasabi radishes that didn't do well for me at all. I didn't get a one, but I used all my seeds, so I was letting them go so that I can get some seeds, and it looks like that is going to happen. So keeping them alive. And then also here were two more the bok choy plants that were growing in the DWC system in the house that were all, just pretty much dying over because I wasn't using it fast enough. So I brought them outside, and as you can see, these also are doing well. Here's another look at my wasabi radishes that I let go to seed. It's a better look at things. I think I'm supposed to let these dry out. Pretty sure. But they seem to be coming along just fine. Maybe I wasn't able to grow the radishes this time around, but I was definitely able to be successful in getting some seeds. So I'm gonna roll with that and be happy that I got that much accomplished. Okay, here I have my green leaf lettuce that is coming back. I'm finally starting to get a little far on it. It's dying back in some areas, and that's okay. I have to figure out what I'm going to plant in it next. But then here is a spinach plant that I was letting go to seed so that I can harvest those seeds. And I had this lettuce for lunch today. It's still really good, even though it's been in the 90s here for maybe a couple days. But the nights are pretty cool, so I'm guessing that's what's keeping these bad boys alive. But either way, looks like I still got a couple harvests coming from this, so that makes me happy. Let me tell you about this Coleus. Oh my God, am I in love with this? Doesn't it look fantastic? I just watered it, and then these were 3 cuttings that have finally started taking off. So I'll have myself another really large plant here shortly. But these I just love. I'm in love with them. They're my pride and joys, and they're sitting right by my door because I want to see them every time I walk up to my house. They're gorgeous. I love them, love them. Right here I have a couple of my sunflower plants that my mom sent me. Well, the seeds at least my mom sent me, and they're looking pretty good. They're different sizes, but they're still looking good, and the ants still like them, so I'm guessing that's a good thing. And we're a long way from getting a flower, but This is the farthest I've ever gotten with growing sunflowers, so I'm really happy with this. Here's my grill planter. It's looking lovely. My geranium is flowering and looking lovely. It's spreading out too. And my Coleus that I sprinkled in there, oh, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, this finally started growing. They're getting taller, and that's looking good. Also in this planter are some mustard seed plants, or I'm sorry, mustard, red giant mustards. But I'm letting those go to seed so I can save those seeds. This was really good. I'm gonna grow this again in the fall, and I can't wait. I've cooked it up probably 3 times now, and it's so delicious. Really, really delicious. I'm gonna plant more plants than I did this time around because I'm gonna enjoy having that more often than I did this time. And I'm gonna give them their own designated planter so that they can get a little bigger than they did in this small planter where they were sharing space with these other plants. But still, everything is doing really good here in my grow planter. Here are my potatoes that I started from potatoes that just grew some eyes in my pantry. They're doing good. They're not dying back yet. I've been keeping them well watered, and they're just getting taller and taller and taller. I don't see any signs of sickness, so I think things are progressing well down in there. I'm hoping to get, I used 3 potatoes to start these plants, so I guess if I get 10 potatoes I should be happy. I don't know, we'll see. But I tell you, that plant is awful healthy. This thing is massive, and I got it growing in a 17 gallon pot, so I'm happy with that. Right here is another purple ladybug choy plant that was growing in a house in the DWC system. I just threw it in some soil and brought it outside and put it in this pot, and it's looking good right now. Right now it's just ornamental because honestly, all the greens that I have right now, I can't. I keep saying this, but I really can't keep up with how much leafy greens I planted this summer. I definitely know now, just for one person, not to go overboard. And you can go overboard real quick. But isn't it so pretty? It just looks ornamental, doesn't it? Even if I don't eat them, I love looking at them. They look great in the yard. So back behind my potato plant, I have a berries crazy tomato plant, and this is a multiflora, and you know that because look at all those flowers, right? And then we got another set down here, got a set coming in up here and over there and right here. As long as I can keep this bad boy alive, looks like I'll be swimming in Barry's crazy cherry tomatoes before long. I mean, I still got quite a ways to go. And I also have another plant of these that I didn't know I had. I had mislabeled the plant, and so I have a whole nother plant, the crazy or berry crazy cherry tomatoes. So this is exciting. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna have stuff to share this year. Right here is my herb planter. That is my ridiculous dill. Look at it. It's crazy. I need to put something in here to stake this one up because it's wow. I hope you guys can hear me over my neighbor. He's putting putting some kind of deck on the back of his house. But you know, mint crazy. Parsley not doing so well in this machine. Well, this planter rather. My basil needed some water. I just did that. It should recover. Here is my only cilantro plant, and that makes me sad because I love cilantro. But it's looking a lot better than it did now that I moved it from where this planter was. Here was another mustard, or a red giant mustard plant that I had. It was working in there. My thyme's coming in slowly but surely. And then some more mint. I've been harvesting the leaves of the mint and then keeping them in a Tupperware. I got one at work for my water bottles and then one in the house for my water bottles. And clearly, what is this? 1, 2, 3 plants of mint is far too much for one person. Do you know what that means though? I need to make some mojitos and have a friend over. But yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with my, I'm calling this my herb planter, even though it has, you know, the mustards down there at the bottom. So, fantastic. All right, over here is my pepper planter. I need to have my boyfriend come over and turn this around for me. But the Quadrata, is this? Yeah. Yeah. The Quadrata plant is doing very well. Look at my peppers coming in. There's just the 2 so far. And then there's another one up here. But it's looking a little green, so I won't be surprised if that falls off. Well, a little yellow, so I won't be surprised if that falls off. The basil in here, though, is out of control. I need to go ahead and harvest some of this. And then back here is another pepper plant. It's just now starting to get some buds. So hopefully I'll be getting some peppers from this plant. This is either an orange or a yellow sweet bell pepper. This plant right here is another pepper plant, but I'm not seeing any blooms on it yet, so it's taking its time. And then the last pepper plant in this container, and this is a 17-gallon, is back here in the back. It's got some buds, so should be seeing some peppers coming in on this. And then the zinnia that I planted with it is doing wonderfully. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. But we got another flower coming in there, and then another one coming in there. So it's looking good. This planter's doing well, but I wanted to rotate it so that the other plants will get some of that really good sunlight. Yay. All right, right here is my green apple cucumber plant. It's wild and it has flowers inside, but I don't see any actual cucumbers coming in. Do you guys? Maybe this is one right here. I don't know. Could that be one? I've never successfully grown cucumbers, so they're probably gonna have to get a little bigger for me to know or to recognize that they are cucumbers. I was thinking about gonna try to hand pollinate these because I feel like this plant is just crazy out of control, and maybe if I like do some pruning and do some hand pollinating, I might start getting some some fruit production from it. Hey, we got a buddy over here. Check him out. I see you, little dude. And I don't mind seeing you. But yeah, this thing is massive, and I did not think it was supposed to get this big. So the seeds were from Baker Creek, and I checked it, and it said that it was only supposed to be 3 feet tall. But it's going up and down this tomato cage twice, so that is definitely taller than 3 feet. So I don't know if I'm doing something right or doing something wrong. For now, I'm just going with the flow. I'm gonna be posting some questions on some of my gardening groups on Facebook to see if I can get any help or some answers. In this container, I have marked as beefsteak tomatoes. That was a lie. That was a big old lie. It turns out, and behind this massive basil plant, Genovese basil, you will see my tomato plant. That looks a lot like Barry's Crazy Cherry. Am I wrong? I mean, look at that. I don't think that's how beefsteaks grow. And then there's more up there. I mean, this thing is loaded. Okay, it's loaded. And then these two are part of this plant. This somehow grew outside of the cage, and I'm too short to get up there and kind of shimmy it back up under the cage. So it's kind of spreading out, but yeah. So I got, this is my second Barry's Crazy Cherry, and I'm okay with that. That plant's probably, I'm gonna go 3 feet tall probably at this point. Yeah. I think that if this was on the ground, it would probably be past my chest for sure. Past my tummy area for sure. So yeah, it's probably a 3 foot. All of my tomato plants are probably 3 foot tall at this point. All right, over in this corner we have the yellow pear tomatoes, and this plant is doing fantastically. Look at that. It's got so much fruit coming in. And up here, and through there, and there, and more coming in there, and up there, and the leaves look healthy too. You know, all of my tomatoes look pretty good, and I'm wondering if the decision to put the basil plants in has much to do with why I'm not dealing with many bugs on my plants. I don't know. I do know that I have been watering them once a week with fish emulsion. This is the second plant over here that is finally starting to catch up with the other. It didn't have any plant or any fruit coming in when I left for vacation, but when I came back, started seeing some signs of life. But I water my tomato plants once a week with some fish emulsion, and I'm wondering if that's helping. Either way, whatever I'm doing so far is working so good. Wouldn't you agree? Now, the other tomato that I had growing in that beefsteak tomato that actually has the Barry's Crazy in it, I do believe this one is a beefsteak tomato plant. It's got some funky leaves, and you know, I was worried about that at first because it only had that one tomato and it had these funky leaves. And then, but when I came back from vacation, I saw these guys and then some flowers up here coming in. So, you know, I'm not going to stress over it. I'm just going to be happy that it's producing for me, and I'm not going to stress over it. I don't know. But I do believe this one is actually a beefsteak tomato. And in this last large 17-gallon planter, I have what I labeled as a Roma tomato plant. I don't think that's what this is. I think this is actually a beefsteak tomato plant, but it's growing fruit like crazy for me. Look at this. And these are considerably bigger since I left for vacation. Again, all the difference 1 week can make, right? But look at all these tomatoes coming in on this. I'm very pleased, very pleased with these tomato plants. They're doing awesome. And then the zinnia in this planter is doing good as well. I don't know why these are turning down. It doesn't need any water, but no matter, it's still giving me flowers, beautiful flowers. And so I'm happy with that. So yeah, I believe that's another beefsteak tomato plant, and it's doing great. In this planter over here is another pepper plant. I don't know what kind of pepper it is, but it's definitely a pepper, and it's starting to bloom. And you see some more buds in there. So this guy should be having some noticeable peppers coming in, some fruit for me. I'm excited about that. And there's a sunflower that I stuck in here that's probably not going to survive because I had this kind of in a shady place, and I'm guessing that's why it looks so leggy back there. But it's too late to try to transplant it, so you know, it's going to do what it does because I'm not moving it out of there. Over here I got my 2 proven winners. I got my collards that are doing good. I harvested out of this yesterday. I made dinner from this yesterday and it was really good. And then I got my curly parsley, which is still looking wonderful and full. And I actually had a parsley salad today. I ate a couple times. So I had a parsley salad today, and look at that thing. It's like I didn't even take anything off of it, which is wonderful. Over here is a purple ladybug choy that I'm letting go to seed. I harvested off of this bad boy, I couldn't even tell you how many times. And then I threw some more plants in here. These were from the DWC. This one, I didn't think was gonna make it, but look at that. When I came back from vacation, a couple of little leaves were there. So thanks for surprising me. And then this plant's doing okay, and so is that one in the back there. And then here are 2 spinach plants that I'm letting go to seed so I can collect the seeds from these. And even though there's not anything harvestable in that planter, I'm very happy with it because it's doing what I wanted it to do. Oh my God, I can't stop looking at those peppers. Yes, yes, I love you. Okay. And right here are my onions that are, I think these are bunching onions. They're looking better than they were before, but overall I think I'm just going to be harvesting these for the green tops because I just don't see this happening. I mean, well, you know what, knowing me, I'm not going to have the heart to do anything too drastic to them. I want to let it play out. Sorry, I'm holding my bike up off of this. I want to let it play out and see if anything comes of it. But that's how they look. And last but not least, here is my other planter that had some of the Asian red mustards in it. And I'm letting those go to seed as well. And they're doing just fine.